Hey guys, it's OctoBinx here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a CAS video or a Create a Sim video, and I am remaking the Crumplebottom sisters, who are a household from The Sims 3 Supernatural. So in case you don't really know who the Crumplebottom sisters are, this is their bio from the game. The three Crumplebottom sisters have very little in common with one another, and yet they have never been able to live apart. They feel right at home in Moonlight Falls, which, like their family, is full of drama and magic. Will these three witches ever find balance and serenity, or are they destined to always express their love for each other through a combination of trickery and shouting? So another bio that is from The Sims Wiki, which gives us similar information but slightly different, is the three Crumplebottom sisters are very different in both appearance and attitude. Beatrice is the oldest and very set in her grumpy ways. Belinda is as good-natured a person as you could ever meet and often fills the role of family peacekeeper. Meanwhile, Bianca is a bit of a spitfire and all about flirting her way through life. These witchy siblings can cause some serious magic mojo. That is when they aren't squabbling over whose turn it is to wash the dishes. So basically there are three sisters who live together in this world, Moonlight Falls, which came with The Sims 3 Supernatural, and there's actually a lot of lore surrounding who the sisters are and the role that they play in the world. There is in fact a Sims YouTube channel by The Sims Lore, and there's a really good video on the Crumplebottom sisters that covers the lore in the game and who they are very well and really in depth, so I definitely recommend you check that out. But I thought just while we are busy creating them in The Sims 4 that we would go through each of their bios and have a look at who they are while they are being recreated on the screen. So first we have the oldest sibling, namely Beatrice Crumplebottom, who I am currently remaking on the screen, as you can see. She is an adult sim and she is obsessed with the idea of being the best witch in Moonlight Falls. She is said to struggle with reckoning the other witches' success and is rather snooty and impatient. At the start of the game, Beatrice is unemployed. She has 7 points in cooking as well as 4 in gardening. Beatrice is also single, and her traits in The Sims 3 are bookworm, loner, proper, frugal, and grumpy. She also has the lifetime wish to be an alchemy artisan, and some of her favorites include electronica, ratatouille, and grey. Now, of course, I've tried to replicate this in The Sims 4, but naturally we don't have a lot of the same traits. We have a lot of similar shared traits between The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, but not all of them. So I have made her a bookworm, a loner, and grumpy, as these are sort of most appropriate compared to what she had in The Sims 3. And I have given her the potions aspiration. I think it's purveyor of potions. I can't remember offhand what it is exactly. But it is the one that came with Realm of Magic, and it is the alchemy sort of aspiration that the Sims can do. And then whatever traits I couldn't replicate in her personality, because we only have so many slots in the game for traits, I have added to her likes and dislikes. So gardening is there and cooking is there, amongst a few other things, like her favorite color being grey and that she likes electronica music. I really hope that we get in an update soon a food favorites category as well. I feel like it's a natural thing to add to the game, and maybe they just need more time to prepare it, but I think that would be really cool to get that in an update in the future. So here you can see the sort of final version of Beatrice Crumplebottom, but I do go on to give them some extra outfits, which we will see at the end. Anyway, but I am now going to move on to making the second sister, which is Belinda Crumplebottom. So she's the middle child of the three sisters, and This is her bio according to the Sims wiki. So Belinda is the middle sister and full-time peacekeeper of the Crumplebottom family. She's pretty much the only thing that keeps Beatrice and Bianca from tricking each other into oblivion. Sometimes Belinda wonders if she was actually born into the right family, but those thoughts are quick to disappear after spending an hour with her two conflicting sisters. Yes, Beatrice is difficult to deal with when she gets grumpy, and Bianca can be a little self-absorbed, always. But Belinda is determined to have them get along, because it's the only way she'll get some peace and quiet in the house. So Belinda is actually a young adult compared to her older sister who is an adult. And Belinda is in fact in the culinary career as an ingredient taster, so she is employed when you do start the game. She is also single, and her personality traits include a good sense of humor, natural cook, good, easily impressed, and she is friendly. And her lifetime wish is to be the culinary librarian. And then her favorites include kids' music, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and she loves the color purple. So in the Sims 4 version, I have tried to reflect these traits as best possible, and I have given her the good trait. She's a foodie and she is cheerful, and she, like in the Sims 3, has the culinary cook aspiration, and whatever else didn't quite fit into her traits, I have tried to reflect in her likes and dislikes, just like with Beatrice. So she likes the color purple, and she likes kids radio, and she also likes cooking and baking. There are quite a lot of theories, and there's quite a bit of speculation as to who the Crumplebottom sisters are based on, and a lot of parallels can be drawn with a TV show by the name of Charmed, in which the Halliwell sisters resemble the Crumplebottom sisters in many ways, also including the fact that all their names start with the same letter. So in this case, Beatrice, Belinda, and Bianca. There's also a parallel with Disney's Hocus Pocus and the Sanderson sisters in that film. You also might be wondering how these Crumplebottom sisters are possibly related to Agnes Crumplebottom, who is sort of the most iconic Crumplebottom of them all. So far, it is unknown as to how they are related, but if you do know or have any theories, definitely share them in the comments down below. So we're nearing the end of the creation of Belinda Crumplebottom. I just do a few more finishing touches, and then I dress her in an outfit that closely resembles what she wears in The Sims 3. And speaking of that, as you can see in the video so far, I've always had a image in the bottom left hand corner of the sim that I'm working with at the time. So when I created these Sims, I made sure that I always referred back to pictures of how they looked in The Sims 3, because I didn't want to stray too far from how they actually looked in the game versus how I was remaking them in The Sims 4. So I constantly tried to make as close a resemblance between the two games as possible, but also taking into consideration that the style in general of The Sims 4 is really different to The Sims 3. So we have now come to the youngest of the Crumplebottom sisters, that is Bianca Crumplebottom. She's also a young adult, but in The Sims 3 she is younger than Belinda is. So the Sims wiki has quite an amusing bio for Bianca. It says, "Poor Beatrice and Belinda. It must be hard for them to have a sister who is so much younger and so much prettier than they are. Bianca is the youngest of the three sisters that couldn't be any more opposite. Always being picked on and lashing back at her sisters. She doesn't know if it's because she's the youngest or her good looks that are the envy of her sisters. But really, does that give them any right to take it out on her? It's not her fault she turned out perfect. Maybe they'd be happier if Beatrice wasn't an old grump and Belinda wasn't so concerned about other people." So it's quite amusing. In the game, there's definitely a really big rub between Bianca and the eldest sister, Beatrice. And it definitely comes across that they don't get along, and like just from my experience of playing with them a little bit in The Sims 3, they do tend to argue at every opportunity. So Bianca is also like Belinda, she's employed, only she is in the music career and she is a stagehand in the game. She is also single, and her personality traits include flirty, night owl, commitment issues, a snob, and she is childish. Her lifetime wish is living in the lap of luxury, and her favorites include Latin music, autumn salad, and the color white. So Bianca likes to wear all white wherever she goes, and this is reflected by the fact that her name essentially means the color white. In the game, when you play with her, she also has 5 points in alchemy and 2 in the guitar skill. And as I did with the previous sisters, I tried to reflect this in her likes and dislikes. So she likes playing guitar, and it was kind of tricky to decide on which traits to give Bianca as well in the Sims 4 version of the game to sort of reflect what she had in the Sims 3. But I decided to go with romantic, non-committal, and childish. And I gave her the lifetime barren aspiration, or fabulously wealthy. I can't remember exactly which one, but I thought that was probably best suited to her in the Sims 4 version of the game. So we have now reached the end of the video, where I am just going to give you a little overview of the Sims in their complete form, with all the likes, dislikes in place, the walking style, all the outfits for each of the various categories, and so on and so forth. So first is Beatrice Crumplebottom. So this is her sort of Sims 4 look that I came up with. It still pays tribute to the original Sims 3 outfit, as you can see on the screen now. And yeah, I really enjoyed making the sisters in the Sims 4 version of the game. I really feel when Realm of Magic came out that we didn't have enough magical households in the game. I really love the pack, but it's always nice to have more Sims to work with. So I figured it would be nice to add them into The Sims 4 and come up with a reason as to why they've moved to Glimmerbrook and left Moonlight Falls. So now we have Belinda Crumplebottom here. Again, this is like her Sims 4 updated look. It's still purple, and it's still, you know, Belinda at heart. And as you can see, her likes and dislikes are there, and this is her walking style that I have gone with. So yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out in the game, and I definitely feel that they do look like the original Sims 3 Sims, but I mean, there are differences. Like, I know that in the Sims 3 game, Belinda and Bianca technically have the same hairstyle in different colors, and I haven't done that in this game, but I kind of felt that this hairstyle that Belinda has sort of fits better with her personality, being a foodie, and I can't really explain it, but it just feels more like Belinda. And same with Bianca. I felt like this hairstyle she has here is just a bit more sassy. It's a bit more cool and edgy, which I think she is. She likes to be on trend, and she likes to be current and noticed and all of that. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I definitely get Sabrina the Teenage Witch vibes from Bianca and how she's dressed and all of that. So yeah, that's just sort of something that I'm reminded by. But yeah, so these are some of her outfits. That's her Sims 4 version. This is sort of the closest I could get to a Sims 3 version of her outfit like she had in the original game. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy these Sims, and most definitely if you download them, let me know how it goes with them, like what they get up to. I don't know if I'll build a house for them in the game and upload that. I might do, but yeah, it was fun to get out of my comfort zone and do a CAS video for a change. I don't normally do them, but yeah, so those are the Crumplebottom sisters. And yeah, as I said, let me know if you want to play with them. They are on the Sims 4 gallery as we speak, So you can either find them by going to my profile OctoBinx, they will be there under my households, or if you search under the hashtag Crumplebottom Sisters or Crumplebottom Witches, I'm sure they will come up in the results there too. So I've also given them a little description and a little bit of lore as to why they are now moving to Glimmerbrook and have left Moonlight Falls. So I've made up a story saying the Crumplebottom sisters were well known in their hometown of Moonlight Falls. But after getting involved in a controversial scandal, the three sisters thought it best to build a new life together in Glimmerbrook. Will the Crumplebottom sisters be able to find their feet in the spellcasting community? Or will their tainted reputation precede them? So, if you know about the lore behind the sisters and what happens in Moonlight Falls, you might know what I'm referring to. If not, definitely go check out that video I mentioned earlier by The Sims Lore. And I thank you for watching my video. If you have stayed till the end, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will speak to you in the next one. Bye!